Imagine waking up in a town where the people around you aren't just neighbors, they're followers of a group that controls every aspect of life. No one can leave, and every choice is dictated by the cult. Sounds like fiction, but this has happened more than once. Every cult has a leader, often charismatic, often terrifying. In some towns, they weren't just leaders. They were rulers shaping lives and bending reality. These cults didn't just manipulate individuals. They controlled the entire town. Businesses, schools, even the local police were under their influence. Leaving wasn't an option. Imagine everyday life dictated by fear. If you questioned them, consequences were swift. People lived in silence, secrets spreading like shadows. New members were often lured by promises of community and purpose. But behind closed doors, rituals were used to break down individuality and instill loyalty. Some dared to resist. Leaving wasn't just frowned upon, it was dangerous. Yet a few managed to escape, risking everything to reveal the truth. Now let's dive into 3 chilling cases where entire communities were trapped under cult control. Real stories that shook the world. In 1978, over 900 people followed Jim Jones to a remote jungle in Guyana, building what they believed would be a utopian society, Jonestown. But paradise quickly turned into a prison. Jones controlled every detail: who could speak, who could leave, even what could be eaten. Daily life was regimented with mandatory political meetings, long marches, and intense propaganda. When outsiders began investigating, the cult's paranoia grew. Followers were told the world was plotting against them. Tragedy struck when a U.S. congressman visited, leading to a deadly ambush. Under pressure, Jones ordered a mass act of revolutionary suicide, resulting in the deaths of over 900 men, women, and adults. Fear and loyalty had completely overtaken reason. In Waco, Texas, David Koresh led the Branch Davidians, controlling the compound down to the smallest detail. Followers were drawn by promises of spiritual insight, but soon faced extreme rules, strict schedules, loyalty tests, and heavy reliance on Koresh's interpretation of the Bible. The compound was isolated from the outside world, and questioning authority was punished or discouraged. Tensions with local authorities escalated in 1993. A raid turned into a 51-day standoff as negotiators struggled to convince followers to leave. Inside, fear and control were at their peak. Eventually, a fire engulfed the compound, killing 76 people. Despite multiple warnings and attempts by authorities to bring people out safely, many remained inside, either unable to escape or unwilling to leave the only life they had known. When the fire finally died down, what remained was a scene of devastation. Investigators later confirmed that David Koresh had died inside the compound. Reports concluded that he suffered a fatal gunshot wound during the final moments, though the exact circumstances remain debated. The tragedy revealed how a charismatic leader could manipulate and terrify an entire community. This is the 3rd story about one of the most dangerous cults in modern history, based in Japan. In the 1980s, a man named Shoko Asahara founded a religious movement in Japan called Aum Shinrikyo. At first, it looked like a spiritual group focused on meditation, enlightenment, and self-improvement. But over time, it slowly transformed into a tightly controlled cult. Members were cut off from their families, isolated from society, and placed under complete authority of Asahara, who claimed supernatural powers and spiritual superiority. As his influence grew, the teachings became darker. He began promoting apocalyptic beliefs, convincing followers that the world was doomed and that only his inner group would survive the coming destruction. In 1995, the cult shocked the the world when it carried out a coordinated attack on the Tokyo subway system, releasing a deadly nerve agent during rush hour. The incident caused widespread panic and multiple fatalities. Following the attack, authorities uncovered the full scale of the cult's secret operations, leading to the arrest of Asahara and several key members. He was later sentenced for his role in one of the most shocking acts of domestic terror in history. Today, Aum Shinrikyo remains a powerful example of how belief, when manipulated, can turn into something extremely dangerous. These stories are not just history, they are warnings. If these stories shocked you, wait until you hear what didn't make the headlines. There are still hidden groups operating in silence around the world. Would you recognize the signs before it's too late?